So today we're going to explore some exciting hospitality and food service opportunities that we currently have. And on our screen, you'll see our agenda. We'll start with an introduction of the team. You'll get to meet our recruiters, learn about our career opportunities. And again, these are live opportunities that we have right now. And then we'll go into a Q&A and cover next steps, how you can apply and stay connected with us. So to start, I'll love to share a little bit more about who we are and what it is that we do. So DC Global Talent is a recruitment agency based out of Toronto, Ontario. And we specialize in hospitality and food service, as well as food service retailers, which makes us quite niche in what we do. We consider ourselves industry experts in these fields, and it really allows us to become experts and be engaged and connected with some of the best employers within these industries. We have been around since 2016. I founded this business after almost 10 years in recruitment and spending some time myself in the Caribbean. In regards to sort of the markets that we cover, we mainly recruit in the Caribbean and Americas. So from North America down to South and Latin America, including Mexico and so forth. In terms of what our focus is always, it really is on establishing long-term relationships, both with our clients and candidates. And what this means is not always will we have an opportunity for you today, but we are committed to ensuring that we can be providing value to you through all of our social channels, and hopes that we will get the opportunity to at some point be able to place you with one of our clients. And in the same token, we are very committed to providing the best service to our clients, ensuring that we're providing them with the talent that best meets and fits the requirements for their role, as well as fit their establishment in terms of culture and experience, etc. And this allows our clients to continue coming back to us, which in return allows us to have more opportunities for wonderful talent like yourselves. In regards to how we sort of maintain this level of service, we're very committed to understanding our clients' goals, challenges, values, and culture. And this is why sometimes, not everyone is going to be the right fit for our client due to the requirements for the role. Finally, we are very dedicated to ensuring we are quality-centric opposed to quantity. And this is why we've stayed niche in the industries that we work for. We don't want to be a jack of all trades. We really want to be an expert just in hospitality, food service, and the food service retail space. And finally, just a quick introduction about me. My name is Daniela Ricalis. I am newly married. You may have known me previously as Daniela Correa, but I have taken on a new last name. And like I mentioned in the previous slide, I established this business back in 2016 after spending some time living in the Caribbean, in specific in the Cayman Islands, which is an island that I really fell in love with. And it was a big surprise to me that there were so many expats who were living in the Caribbean, and that although there are some challenges in relocating, that it really is not so difficult when you have someone to really guide you through that process. And that became sort of my passion, to allow people to experience different cultures and experiences in different countries, and really take those risks that provide so much value to everyone in the end. And next, I'm going to allow our recruiters to introduce themselves as well.
Hi, I'm Laura. I have been at DC for almost 2 years now. I'm based in South Africa and absolutely love the hospitality industry. I was working in boutique hotels, and I've always loved the one-on-one connection. And I feel that DC is such a good fit for me, as we're a small team, and it just hones in on the boutique style that I absolutely love.
Hi, apologies on that. I'm Catherine, Filipina who's based in South Africa. I've been, in recruitment for the last 10 years, been with DCE for the last 2 years. And it feels like it's been, some time ago now. But yeah, we love what we do. It's not just about, recruiting people, but more we are actually looking forward for what is the growth of our candidate for the next step. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jessica, a recruitment specialist with DC Global Talent. I'm also based in South Africa, and I've also been in the hospitality industry throughout my career, working in numerous countries. And I have been specializing in the hospitality recruitment industry since 2014, placing people in the Caribbean, the Americas, as well as the Middle East.
Hi, everyone. Nita here. Thank you so much all for joining. So I've been with DC Global Talent for over a year now, and it has allowed me to visit several Caribbean islands, which has been great, connect with wonderful people such as yourselves. And yeah, that's a little bit about me. Why don't we go ahead and jump straight to the roles? Let's dive right in. So our first role is for a controller that we're looking there in Can Juan, which is in St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the Caribbean. So ideally, we're looking for a candidate that possesses more than 5 years as a financial controller, and that comes also from the hospitality industry. So ideally, someone that comes from luxury boutique hotel or a luxury hotel. This person will be managing a team of up to 5 to 6 staff members, and also would be preferred if this person has Caribbean experience or island life experience. Next opportunity, please. Next position. The assistant store manager that we're looking for is for a multinational grocery retailer. They have stores all around the Caribbean as well as other parts in other countries. This assistant store manager that we're looking for is preferably within focus in perishables. So this person that previously was a produce manager or a bakery manager, so someone that has that strong focus there within perishables is the ideal candidate that we're looking for. So someone that also possesses 2+ years of experience as an assistant store manager, comes from a grocery retailer or food wholesaler, and must be a U.S. citizen since the company does not provide work permits. Next position, please. So the director of projects and utilities is our client is basically a luxury community, a residential estate, and they're looking there for a director of projects that has about 5 years developing new projects when it comes to residences as well as luxury communities. The ideal candidate must have experience there developing luxury communities, everything from an infrastructure perspective. So when it comes to the construction of roads, irrigation systems, sewage, generators, so everything within infrastructure. Ideally, this person has Caribbean experience or island life experience, but it's not mandatory. And the property has currently about 13 private residents spanning from a territory of 1,200 acres, 4 F&B outlets, and 18-hole golf courses. The assistant financial controller that we're looking for is for a luxury boutique property there in the Cayman Island. And the ideal candidate must have 3+ years as an assistant financial controller, mandatorily coming from the hospitality industry, so working for a luxury hotel. CPA is always also nice to have. And yeah, next position, please. And our last position my last position as for the VP of Marketing, this is for a multi-property hotel group. Ideally, the candidate is based there in Florida, and availability to travel there to Puerto Rico. This person will be overlooking 2 properties, so 2 hotels, and managing a team of 3 to 4 staff members. Must possess there around 5+ years of experience as a director of marketing with a focus in digital marketing, and also will be overseeing the branding as well as the communication. For this opportunity, only considering U.S. citizens, since the property is not fostering work permits for other nationalities. Thank you. That's all for my roles.
Hi. So I'm recruiting for a resort manager in St. Vincent and Grenadines. They're looking for someone who is really strong in rooms, as this is a private resident estate. The company is really big on sustainability. They're really wanting to put this area on the map. So someone that is really strong with tourism and really wanting to get involved in building the business. Also very strong with HOA. The candidate must come from luxury, high end, and the personality for this will definitely sell you on this product. So the next opportunity is a restaurant general manager in St. Thomas, and due to it being in St. Thomas, would obviously need a US national that would be willing to relocate to St. Thomas. This person would be overseeing the restaurant, bar, beach, retail, and club area. It would also be ensuring that you're coming from high volume, fast pace, and large turnaround, as this is what the client is looking for. Our client is in Jamaica and they're looking for a refrigeration engineer. They would need to have 3 to 5 years experiencing leading a team with industrial and commercial refrigeration. The ideal candidate is coming from America or Canada and able to bring their expertise to Jamaica, as this client is looking to expand throughout the Caribbean, but based in Jamaica. The assistant general manager will be working hand in hand with the general manager in St. Thomas. Again, this would be a US national candidate only. This person would be reporting to the general manager, overseeing the outlets, which were the restaurant, the bar, the beach, retail, and club area. They're looking for someone to increase sales, manage the profit and loss, ensure that the training and the hiring are within the company standards, and ensuring that the quality of the food is coming out within the fast-paced industry and fast-paced environment, which is good quality foods. And the last position is the Assistant Director of Food and Beverage in Barbados. They're looking for someone with Caribbean experience. This person would be overseeing 5 outlets and be really experienced in banqueting. And the team is quite large. It's 75 people plus, with over 300 rooms. So the client is looking for someone with this experience, with large numbers, managing a large team, and the main focus would be on banquets. Please apply below. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. Hi, so I am looking for a director of banquets and special events in Hawaii. This property is part of the Forbes property list. They have 249 bedrooms or keys, 9 outlets. We are looking for someone who has strong customer service orientation, financial acumen, someone who actually demonstrate to lead a team of 65 people, someone who troubleshoot and, doesn't panic, because as director of events, and banqueting, you can run supposedly like 3 to 5 events in 1 week. And this is based in Hawaii. And this is only for American citizen. This position is actually really amazing because they're one of the top 100 top employers, okay, in North America and Caribbean. We have worked with them for the last 7 years, and we have placed key positions with this company. We are looking for a sous chef who can manage one fine dining and then one retail outlet, and as well as the IRD. This company actually possesses a Forbes property as well. So we are looking for chefs who has the background, okay, who can manage 25 staff members, and also, you know, a trained staff member who can train staff members, knowledge on forecasting, budgeting, and costing in the kitchen. All right, so produce manager, we have 2 positions. So one is for Bahamas. So I'll start with the Bahamas one. This is actually for a retail group that is based in Nassau in Bahama. Okay, they have 4 outlets at the moment. We are looking for an experienced and young produce manager to actually lead their team, and who knows, probably open up more stores incoming. There's no nationality preference. We actually just need to have someone who have at least 2 to 3 years experience. And then the one in British Island is actually for a long-standing retailer in North America. Okay, we are looking for a produce manager for their flagship store based in the British Virgin Island. Okay, and salary would be negotiable for the right person.
Oh, just 1 minute, Catherine. I see a comment from Paulus asking if everyone has sound. I can hear Catherine just fine. If anyone else can't hear for whatever reason, just let us know in the text box. Okay, so it looks like we're okay. We're okay. Paulus, we will send a summary later of what we spoke about today. Sorry, Catherine.
All right. No problem. So this executive grocery chef, I think this is one of the most exciting position because you will actually have the experience of experimenting in terms of like updating their menu engineering, costing. They would have 1 production kitchen and then 4 satellite kitchen as well. Okay, we are looking for someone who got experience in grocery. And then key members would have like 35 staff members. We need someone who has patience, okay, in developing food to the next level for this retailer. It's actually based in British Virgin Islands. Okay, we are not looking for any nationalities. If you have the retail or food services experience, please do let us know. All right, so Director of Finance for Jamaica. All right, this company is looking for someone who can be trained as the next CFO. All right, you need to have at least an experience of managing and consolidating at least 32 businesses in one. We need someone who can train the team, deliver more KPIs and revenue for the company. All right. They are based basically from Jamaica, Bahamas, and other Caribbean islands. So if you know anyone, please let us know.
Wonderful. And Jessica's going to sit this one out because she's not feeling so well. So I will speak about Jess's roles. All right, starting with the front office manager position, this role is based in Hawaii, and we are looking for Americans for this position as work permits would not be issued. So as long as you have authority to work in the US without sponsorship or work visa, then you may qualify. The property is an ultra luxury hotel. It is a Forbes rated property, and the hotel has 249 suites plus residences, and the front office manager would be managing the front office team, which includes 4 managers, 1 supervisor, 10 receptionists, and 6 PBX agents. We are looking for someone who has a minimum of 2 years experience in a managerial role with a luxury hotel. Forbes training and experience is always advantageous. And of course, relocation would be required in order to be considered for this role. Next, we have an assistant front office manager. This is also a Forbes rated property. A property we've been working with for a number of years, I think going back 7 years now. And this is a number 2 in front office. You would be responsible for the front office team as well, reporting into the front office manager. We're looking for someone who has been at minimum a supervisor for at least 2 years. Forbes experience is very advantageous for this role. It is a Forbes 5-star property. We are open to any nationality for this position, as work permits will be provided. Salary for this role is $60,000 USD. It is tax-free, given that it is in the Cayman Islands, and relocation as well as work permit costs will be covered, and then temporary accommodation is provided as well. This is a really great employer. It's the same employer that Catherine spoke about earlier in regards to the sous chef role. They are top 100 employers to work for, and just an incredible opportunity. We have placed at this stage, tens of dozens of people to work there, probably going closer into the 50 range. And we've seen these employees grow within their career with this employer. So it's a role we're very passionate about, and an employer and property that we are always feel very privileged to be working with. All right, great. So next we have retail director in the British Virgin Islands. For this role, it is a senior position, and we are looking for someone who has experience in grocery retailer, at least as a store manager. You would need to be in a high volume store. And as a retail director, you would actually be overseeing 8 stores. So ideally, you are someone who has been in an area general manager position, overseeing more than 1 store. And then also that you're bringing in a minimum of 10 years experience in a managerial role. This position does provide some great benefits. It is a very strong food service employer. It's actually a Canadian corporation, and they have their subsidiaries based out of the Caribbean, and they are the largest food service grocery retailers in the Caribbean. So just a really great opportunity, tons of room for growth, very ambitious group. And with this role, we're looking for minimum, the salary for this role is $120,000, and it is negotiable for the right candidate. And this position is certainly hot right now. Our client is scheduling interviews. So if you believe you're the right fit for this position, or you think you know someone who is, please do not hesitate to contact us. Moving on. All right, great. So next I'm going to go, there's going to be, 2 housekeeping positions that I'll speak about. First one is an executive housekeeper in Grenada. This is a small but beautiful island known for their actually dark chocolate, if I'm not mistaken. And the property is a leading hotels of the world. So high luxury standards is very important. Unless you've worked for a true luxury 5-star property, we would unfortunately not be able to consider you for this role. It is a number 1 role, so a department head position, salary in the range of $4,500 USD per month, negotiable for the right candidate, and full expat benefits, which means a housing allowance would be provided, as well as the general medical insurance and relocation, work permit, etc. Wonderful employer, again, really great opportunity. We're open to any nationality as long as you have strong tenure in your previous roles, and that you have been at the department head level for a minimum of 2 years. Next. And finally, we have a director of housekeeping position. This is also a department head role, a number 1 in housekeeping. This position is for a luxury boutique hotel. So someone coming from a property that is, 200 plus keys might not be the right role for you if that's what you're used to. We are seeking someone who has experience in the luxury space, but more on the boutique side. There are a lot of amenities at this property, although it is a smaller hotel. It's a very large spa and fitness center as well as several F&B outlets. The position provides a work permit, of course, temporary accommodation, and relocation covered. We also have this role at 80,000 to 100,000, so higher than what you see in Grenada, but that's because housing is not included. So something to consider. Also for this role, and for, I would say, all of the roles that I just spoke about, it's we generally have our clients choosing candidates who are relocating either single status or with a spouse. And one of the reasons, or the main reason for this, is that schooling in the Caribbean can be quite costly. In the Cayman Islands, it can run you 20,000 USD per year per child, as you are required to put your child through the private school system, and you're unable to use the public school system. So it has nothing to do with discriminating against families. We love families. It's just sometimes not feasible to be able to live on island and have children with you with the cost of schooling. In other cases, some of the islands just don't have the proper school for children. And this could be a disadvantage as well to parents. So something to consider. But please, if you're wondering, whether an island is conducive for a family, just ask us and we'll definitely let you know. We have had islands such as the U.S. Virgin Islands that are very much open to families and, if anything, actually encourage them. Because a lot of executives on the team also have their families there, but something to consider in the Cayman Islands. Thank you. All right, great. So now I will cover how you can apply or what the next step would be. So we have a career page on our website, which is dcglobaltalent.ca/careers. If there's a position listed on our website, it means that the role is still live. So we're still recruiting for the position. Our clients are still conducting interviews. If you've noticed that a position has, disappeared from our website, that likely means that we're in offer stages or very late stages, or the position has been closed. So we do get candidates who send us their email anyways. And I do encourage you to, if you've looked at our website and you don't see something that fits your experience. For an example, you're an executive chef and we only have sous chef roles at the moment. Please do send us your email, and you can email that to send us your resume, and you can email that to info@dcglobaltalent.com. We are actively getting new positions every single day. Not always will they be potentially in your department. They might not be in culinary or engineering or marketing, sales, finance, but I can guarantee you that at some point, a position that fits your experience will become available. So ensure that you're sending us your updated resume. We also post new jobs to our LinkedIn page, our Instagram page. We're very active online, so I encourage you to connect with each of the recruiters on the team on LinkedIn, because they will be sharing opportunities every day. Follow us on our LinkedIn page as well. We will send a follow-up email that shares a link to subscribe to our monthly newsletter. This newsletter will provide you with resources in regards to hospitality and applying to jobs. And then in addition to that, we will have positions that we're working on our newsletter as well. And you can scan that QR code. I'm not sure what it does, but feel free to scan it. Sorry. And then we'll just jump right into our Q&A. And I see the first question here from Catherine, so I'll answer that. I did touch briefly on tenure. And what I mean by having long tenure is that our clients do provide work permits generally for the positions we hire. not in the roles that we recruit in Puerto Rico or Hawaii or the US. But if a position is based in the Caribbean, for example, a work permit will be provided. These work permits could be quite costly, so it is considered an investment to the employer. Not only do they have to pay for the work permit, but they have to cover relocation costs, in some cases temporary accommodation, in other cases accommodation. So our employers are only considering candidates who have demonstrated long tenure with their previous employers. So we tend to avoid jumpers, someone who's been, with an employer for 6 months or 1 year, and then, switches again and only works 1 year, and then again 1 year, 1 year, 1 year. We like to see a minimum of 2 years at each employer. We understand that with COVID, things were a little different. So there's a lot of understanding and flexibility during that 2020 period that we had there. But for the most part, we are looking for someone who has shown loyalty and dedication, because our employers feel safer and more secure in bringing someone into the role who has previously shown that they can commit to an employer for more than 1 year. So we also avoid actually reaching out to candidates who have only been with their employer for 6 months. And we do advise candidates who reach out to us who maybe have previously shown very strong tenure, but have now been with their employer for less than a year and are inquiring for roles with us. We generally discourage them to. We let you know that we're happy to work with you, but I suggest that you wait like maybe 6 more months and then reach out to us, because that's going to give you the best chances. Can you send your resume for more than one job? Absolutely, you can. It's very common that we'll have the same role, but for different locations and different employers. An example is the director of housekeeping and an executive housekeeper. Those are the same position. They're department head roles, but they are with different employers. So you can absolutely send your resume to multiple positions. Roles we didn't cover today is we have a lot of restaurant manager positions and general manager positions in the restaurant industry in both Jamaica and St. Thomas. And I think we might have 4 or 5 of those roles, and you can certainly apply to all of them and see. And, I can promise you that one of our recruiters will reach out to you to discuss your qualifications and chat about the position. If there's any cost to candidates, absolutely not. There is no cost to candidates to work with DC Global Talent. We are paid through the organizations that hire us, so the hotels, restaurants, etc. But there is no cost to candidates. And I would be careful with recruitment agencies who are charging you something to represent them. It's 100% absolutely free from us. In regards to positions in Canada, not frequently. In the past 6-7 years, we might have had, a handful of opportunities in Canada. It is not the market that we are most focused in. We're very much in leisure travel. So this is leisure destinations in the Caribbean and in leisure destinations in the Americas. So places like we have worked in with hotels in Quebec, which is in Canada. And then in the US, we work with more destination travel locations such as Nashville, Miami, etc. And do you need to be in the Caribbean to be hired? Absolutely not. Our employers or our clients pay for relocation. So we've recruited people from South Africa, from Dubai, from everywhere, from the Philippines, from Argentina, from Mexico, from Canada, from the US. From France, Italy, you name it. That's why, DC Global Talent, we can recruit you from anywhere in the world. It doesn't necessarily matter where you are. It's more important what experience and qualifications you have. And of course, this is assuming that our client is providing a work permit, which I would say, 80% of the time our roles do provide a work permit. If they do not, we will let you know. And that's generally positions in the United States that do not. Do you know where one can get the Forbes certificate? So Forbes is a certification that actually hotels obtain. And I'm happy to leave the link here so you can find out which hotels are a part of the Forbes travel guide. And when we say that we're looking for candidates who have Forbes experience, it means that you've worked for a hotel that is Forbes rated. Why this is important is that Forbes has a very high training, very high standards. So you would have to meet the Forbes standards, and you've been trained based on the Forbes standards. And this is very attractive to our clients. And so you, as a candidate, you can go through Forbes training, but that is through the hotel that you work for. And do we ever get remote revenue positions? Not frequently. We do get sales remote opportunities. That is a more common remote role that we get. But I would say, 90% of the time, our positions do require relocation. And do we share feedback with candidates that have submitted a CV but have not been selected? Yes, we try to do this with every candidate. So, for example, if you are based in, let's say, Mexico, and you're Mexican and you applied for a position in Hawaii, and we will disqualify you because you're not a U.S. citizen. So because our client is not providing a work permit, you'll receive an email letting you know that you've not been considered because, sponsorship is not an option. We can dive deeper into your resume CV format if that's what you're looking for. But generally that requires a one-on-one with one of the recruiters, and one-on-ones generally happen when you've been selected for an interview. We do try our best to provide as much value and feedback to our candidates as we can. And you will receive an email from us when you apply for a position, no matter what. How detailed that email is really differs on recruiter to recruiter. Who handles relocation and visa process? From Jason. So relocation and work permits are handled by the employer. Generally, employers work in conjunction with an immigration third party. So once you've signed an offer, you will then be asked to gather your work permit documentation. So this will include police clearance. So you'll have to get a criminal record check from wherever you live. Sometimes it will also include a medical test. And then also you'll have to send in passport size photos of you for your work permit. This is the responsibility of the employee. So you have to go out and get your criminal record check. You have to go out and do your medical test as well as take your photos. You then send these documentations over to the employer, who processes your visa. They submit it to immigration and they pay for that. So there's no cost to the employee. The employer will submit your work permit application. Once your work permit has been approved, at that stage, generally our candidates will provide their notice period to their employers, whether that's 2 weeks or 30 days. And then once you've confirmed your start date, like I'm available to travel as of April 30th, the employer will go ahead and book your flight for you. Sometimes, depending on where the candidate is, you might have to stop into the US as a transit or as a stopover, layover. And then depending on what your passport is, you may be required to get a transit visa. Our employers try to find routes that avoid this, so you don't have to go out and get a visa, because at that stage, you are responsible for getting your visa. So in order to, mitigate time and all of that, we just try and find you a route that would avoid the US if you would specifically need a visa to do so. And are there any current upcoming roles at DC Global Talent? So for our recruitment agency, right now we're not looking to hire at the moment, but we're happy to receive your CV. There may be some opportunities for internships, but right now our full-time team is fully staffed. There are two people who are not present on this call, Danielle, who manages all of our marketing and put this presentation together and this event together. She handles our marketing. And then we do have an operations manager who's really in the back end, Alma. So we're a team of 6 or 7, I believe. So fully staffed at the moment. And then is there any age requirement and range? No age requirement, just experience, really. So, for example, the retail director, If you are early 20s, you're likely not going to have the experience required because you need to have 10 years of experience as at minimum as a manager in a retail store. And if you're, 30, then it's unlikely that you were a manager at the age of 20. So age is not a requirement, it's experience. That's a requirement, and the minimum years of experience would be outlined for each role. Okay. Any other questions? I think I saw a note. No problem, Jason. Okay, finally, Layla. I don't have Forbes experience, but I worked in a 5-star hotel, member of leading hotels of the world. So Forbes experience is not mandatory. It is just advantageous to have. Leading hotels of the world is certainly very attractive as well. We often look for candidates who work from leading hotels of the world properties. The property we're working with in Grenada is a part of leading hotels of the world. So I do encourage you, Layla, to send us your resume. I can leave the email here for you. Also, you can apply directly online. So I encourage you to check out our career page, find the job that you're seeking, and then apply to that directly. And the recruiter in charge, in this case, Jessica, would be notified right away. Okay, Anoop. Thank you. Absolutely. No problem. Okay, finally, I think we've covered most, if not all, the questions. And I'm just going to leave this contact form here for you to peek at. You'll notice our website at the bottom left, our email in the middle, and then on the right is our social channels. So you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, you name it. We're everywhere at DC Global Talent. And we will follow up with an email as well, just sharing this information with you that we went over today. And then in addition to that, the link for the newsletter so we can stay in touch and be chatting about opportunities and your career experience. Thank you, everyone.